June had a rough beginning, but she proved she was absolutely resilient. She was brought to a shelter when she was merely a couple of weeks old. But June was not like other kittens, and she wouldn't have survived very long without help. But it was the way that one man managed to save June's life that touched everyone's heart and made his actions memorable. June was only a couple of weeks old when she was found wandering around Cape Town. She didn't seem to have any family nearby. It was as if she fell out of the sky, and she was forced to cope with life on her own. Sadly, the lady who found her had some serious cat allergies, so she couldn't keep June. But she decided to take her to a place where she could get help. June was taken to a pro-life organization called DARG, Domestic Animal Rescue Group. The group rescued and cared for animals that no one else wanted. When the DARG team saw June, it was love at first sight. And when they learned of her plight, they were utterly stunned. Obviously, they had to do something right away. So they decided to give June a checkup to make sure she was all right. After all, her odds of survival were slim after being alone for so long. June appeared to be in great health, but the DARG team didn't want to take any chances, so they sent her off to get a checkup. Fortunately, June got a clean bill of health. She wasn't suffering from malnutrition, she didn't have any worms, and she wasn't physically harmed. But the veterinarian did notice something about June that set her apart from all the other felines. And the vet was very surprised that she made it on her own given the circumstances. The DARG veterinarian noticed something odd about June. She was blind. He suspected that she'd been born with this disability, and the odds weren't in the kitten's favor. She was merely a couple of weeks old. She was too fragile to take care of herself, but the fact that she survived this long made her a miracle kitty. Then the DARG team noticed something that made it easy to understand how she'd survived on her own. It seemed that June didn't realize she was different. She raced down the hallway with the other cats, and she didn't seem bothered by the fact that she couldn't see. She was also very energetic, but it was her resilient attitude that the staff admired. June wasn't afraid of anything, which would probably explain how she made it on her own while roaming aimlessly through Cape Town. And one member of the DARG staff fell in love with June. Just one look was all it took for Holly Gilbert Jones to fall in love with little June. The kitten's resilience had won Gilbert Jones over, and June seemed to feel the same way about her. The two hit it off, and you couldn't tear them apart. But Gilbert Jones was sad. She knew she couldn't take in every animal she looked after, but she had a great idea. Gilbert Jones decided to take a couple photos of June. She knew that once people saw her, they would instantly fall in love with her. So she started snapping photos, and then she posted them online. Once the photos were up, she waited and hoped that someone would reach out to her about possibly adopting June. Then, after anxiously waiting, someone reached out to her. A woman responded to Gilbert Jones, and she asked if she could arrange a meeting so she could take a look at the kitty. At first, Gilbert Jones wasn't too happy about the fact that the woman referred to June as a cat, but she arranged a visit anyway. When the lady got there, she seemed cold and distant. This wasn't what Gilbert Jones expected, and things got even worse. The woman immediately noticed something was off about June, so she asked what was wrong with the cat. The lady lost it when Gilbert Jones told her that June was blind. She accused her of false advertisement and suggested she wouldn't be able to train a blind cat. Gilbert Jones was so upset that she told the woman to take a hike. But how is she going to help June out now? Then Andrew Duff noticed an advertisement pop up for little June on Facebook. For Duff, it was love at first sight. So he showed his girlfriend the post, and the couple immediately decided that they wanted June. They didn't even visit the kitty. They just reached out to Gilbert Jones about adopting June, and she was thrilled. The couple seemed perfect. And when June saw Duff and his girlfriend, she did something that was so darn adorable. June had fallen in love with the couple, particularly Duff. As June was placed in the couple's car, she placed her head on Duff's neck and started purring. Duff immediately realized that June was snuggling with him, and his girlfriend Rebecca said, "I realized, well, that's it, he's become hers." Duff and his girlfriend were so happy, but they ran into an issue as soon as they brought June home. Duff and his girlfriend Rebecca owned 2 other cats, and while June managed to win the couple over, the other cats were a different story. Sadly, in the first weeks that June had made it home, the couple heard the cats hissing at each other. Their home had literally become a feline battle zone, and they feared it would only get worse with time. But then, June shocked everyone. June was determined to win the affection of the other cats. She did this by trying to play with them over and over. Eventually, her persistence paid off, and now the 3 cats are civil to each other. They're practically like sisters. This made Duff and Rebecca very happy, and it also brought a lot of relief. But there was still one question left unanswered that they simply didn't get. June is the embodiment of a mystery. She endured as a homeless kitty during her first weeks of life, and on the mean streets of Cape Town no less. This beloved kitten has become a huge inspiration to everyone who's been fortunate to meet her, and she can win people over with her love and energy. Duff and Rebecca don't know how she endured, but they're happy everything turned out for the best.